And in tennis, Great Britain have made it through to September's Billie Jean King Cup finals after an impressive 3-0 victory against Australia in Melbourne. Harriet Dart and Jodie Burridge teamed up for the first time to win the doubles rubber, which confirmed the overall victory after GB had earlier won the two singles matches. Great Britain had been the underdogs heading into the tie as they had been missing a number of key players, including Emma Raducanu, Katie Bolter, Fran Jones and Sunny Cartal. Elsewhere in rugby union, Bath are through to the Champions Cup semi-finals after producing a thrilling comeback to beat Prem leaders Northampton Saints 43-41 at the Rec. Northampton had been the dominant force in the first half, scoring 5 tries inside the opening half hour, but eventually Bath's greater strength in depth told, and they will now take their place in the Final Four. Finally, in Rugby League, St Helens have eased their way into the semi-finals of the Challenge Cup after they beat Catalan's Dragons 36 points to 4. Tristan Saylor was the star of the show for Saints as he scored 14 points. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sport headlines. I'm Tom McGarry, and we begin with golf, as Rory McIlroy has taken a giant step towards sensationally defending his Masters crown at Augusta. The Northern Irishman will take an historic 6-shot lead into the weekend after firing a brilliant round of 65 on Friday. McIlroy broke the lowest 36-hole score by finishing the day on 12 under par, and he also holds the biggest halfway lead in the tournament's history. McIlroy is now bidding to join Jack Nicklaus, Sir Nick Faldo and Tiger Woods in successfully defending his Masters title. McIlroy sits 6 shots clear of American duo Sam Burns and Patrick Reed, whilst English pair Tommy Fleetwood and Justin Rose, as well as Irishman Shane Lowry, are in a share for 4th, 7 strokes behind McIlroy. Elsewhere and in football, West Ham have moved out the Premier League relegation zone and plunged Tottenham into it following their 4-0 victory over Wolves at the London Stadium on Friday night. Konstantinos Mavropanos opened the scoring for West Ham late in the first half before a quickfire Tati Castellanos double midway through the second put the Hammers in control. Mavropanos scored a late volley to put the icing on the cake for Nuno Espirito Santo's side, who are up to 17th, 2 points clear of Tottenham, who are not in action until Sunday. There is plenty of Premier League action to look forward to, though, on Saturday, with 4 games taking place, beginning with leaders Arsenal's home clash with Bournemouth. There was also a championship match that took place on Friday night, and Millwall have moved up to 2nd in the championship standings, temporarily at least, although they'll be disappointed to have been held to a goalless draw away at struggling West Brom. The point for the Baggies has moved them 5 clear of the relegation zone. Elsewhere and in tennis, Great Britain have made it through to September's Billie Jean King Cup finals after an impressive 3-0 victory against Australia in Melbourne. Harriet Dart and Jodie Burridge teamed up for the first time to win the doubles rubber, which confirmed the overall victory after GB had earlier won the two singles matches. Great Britain had been the underdogs heading into the tie as they had been missing a number of key players, including Emma Raducanu, Katie Bolter, Fran Jones and Sunny Cartal. Elsewhere in rugby union, Bath are through to the Champions Cup semi-finals after producing a thrilling comeback to beat Prem leaders Northampton Saints 43-41 at the Rec. Northampton had been the dominant force in the first half, scoring 5 tries inside the opening half hour, but eventually Bath's greater strength in depth told, and they will now take their place in the Final Four. Finally, in Rugby League, St Helens have eased their way into the semi-finals of the Challenge Cup after they beat Catalan's Dragons 36 points to 4. Tristan Saylor was the star of the show for Saints as he scored 14 points. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sport headlines. I'm Tom McGarry, and we begin with golf, as Rory McIlroy has taken a giant step towards sensationally defending his Masters crown at Augusta. The Northern Irishman will take an historic 6-shot lead into the weekend after firing a brilliant round of 65 on Friday. McIlroy broke the lowest 36-hole score by finishing the day on 12 under par, and he also holds the biggest halfway lead in the tournament's history. McIlroy is now bidding to join Jack Nicklaus, Sir Nick Faldo and Tiger Woods in successfully defending his Masters title. McIlroy sits 6 shots clear of American duo Sam Burns and Patrick Reed, whilst English pair Tommy Fleetwood and Justin Rose, as well as Irishman Shane Lowry, are in a share for 4th, 7 strokes behind McIlroy. Elsewhere and in football, West Ham have moved out the Premier League relegation zone and plunged Tottenham into it following their 4-0 victory over Wolves at the London Stadium on Friday night. Konstantinos Mavropanos opened the scoring for West Ham late in the first half before a quick-fire Tati Castellanos double midway through the second put the Hammers in control. Mavropanos scored a late volley to put the icing on the cake for Nuno Espirito Santo's side, who are up to 17th, 2 points clear of Tottenham, who are not in action until Sunday. There is plenty of Premier League action to look forward to, though, on Saturday, with 4 games taking place, beginning with leaders Arsenal's home clash with Bournemouth. There was also a championship match that took place on Friday night, and Millwall have moved up to 2nd in the championship standings, temporarily at least, although they'll be disappointed to have been held to a goalless draw away at struggling West Brom. The point for the Baggies has moved them 5 clear of the relegation zone. Elsewhere and in tennis, Great Britain have made it through to September's Billie Jean King Cup finals after an impressive 3-0 victory against Australia in Melbourne. Harriet Dart and Jodie Burridge teamed up for the first time to win the doubles rubber, which confirmed the overall victory after GB had earlier won the 2 singles matches. Great Britain had been the underdogs heading into the tie, as they had been missing a number of key players, including Emma Raducanu, Katie Bolter, Fran Jones and Sunny Cartal. Elsewhere in rugby union, Bath are through to the Champions Cup semi-finals after producing a thrilling comeback to beat Prem leaders Northampton Saints 43-41 at the Rec. Northampton had been the dominant force in the first half, scoring 5 tries inside the opening half hour, but eventually Bath's greater strength in depth told, and they will now take their place in the Final Four. Finally, in Rugby League, St Helens have eased their way into the semi-finals of the Challenge Cup after they beat Catalan's Dragons 36 points to 4. Tristan Saylor was the star of the show for Saints as he scored 14 points. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sport headlines. I'm Tom McGarry, and we begin with golf, as Rory McIlroy has taken a giant step towards sensationally defending his Masters crown at Augusta. The Northern Irishman will take an historic 6-shot lead into the weekend after firing a brilliant round of 65 on Friday. McIlroy broke the lowest 36-hole score by finishing the day on 12 under par, and he also holds the biggest halfway lead in the tournament's history. McIlroy is now bidding to join Jack Nicklaus, Sir Nick Faldo and Tiger Woods in successfully defending his Masters title. McIlroy sits 6 shots clear of American duo Sam Burns and Patrick Reed, whilst English pair Tommy Fleetwood and Justin Rose, as well as Irishman Shane Lowry, are in a share for 4th, 7 strokes behind McIlroy. Elsewhere and in football, West Ham have moved out the Premier League relegation zone and plunged Tottenham into it following their 4-0 victory over Wolves at the London Stadium on Friday night. Konstantinos Mavropanos opened the scoring for West Ham late in the first half before a quick-fire Tati Castellanos double midway through the second put the Hammers in control. Mavropanos scored a late volley to put the icing on the cake for Nuno Espirito Santo's side, who are up to 17th, 2 points clear of Tottenham, who are not in action until Sunday. There is plenty of Premier League action to look forward to, though, on Saturday, with 4 games taking place, beginning with leaders Arsenal's home clash with Bournemouth. There was also a championship match that took place on Friday night, and Millwall have moved up to second in the championship standings, temporarily at least, although they'll be disappointed to have been held to a goalless draw away at struggling West Brom. The point for the Baggies has moved them 5 clear of the relegation zone. Elsewhere, and in tennis, Great Britain have made it through to September's Billie Jean King Cup finals after an impressive 3-0 victory against Australia in Melbourne. Harriet Dart and Jodie Burridge teamed up
on that top 6 as we now see Brentford instantly clear their lines. Fingers crossed we get a good, entertaining game. It's myself, Kieran Graham, alongside Paul Shabakovic, bringing coverage of this. And like I mentioned, Paul, fingers crossed we get a good game that maybe reflects what the league table shows.
Absolutely. Hopefully, Kieran, we're going to get a game with 2 sides that are decent going forward and they try to really win the game. I think that the worry from Brentford's point of view is that their home form has just tailed off a little bit when you think that at one stage they were, I think, second in the league in terms of their home form. They're now 4 games without a win at the G-Tech, up against an Everton side who have been improving in the last month or so. But all that considered, there really is a lot to play for. Everton, when you think of the problems they've had over the last few years, for them to be in European contention is great. And for Brentford, of course, they would love to still be in that top 6, top 7 equation by the end of the season. But it is a big game. Here comes the ball over the top now for Deko Otara.
And instantly a great opportunity for Kevin Schade, who's one-on-one, takes it round the goalkeeper. He's taken down. He's got to be a penalty for Brentford. It is, and what a start to the game from them. And is he in trouble? Jordan Pickford, it's a yellow card. You do often see them given as yellow cards, don't you? Yes, Kevin Schade is about to tap it into an empty net. Maybe he's moving a little bit wider, which saves Jordan Pickford, but Schade instantly brought down. He wins the penalty. He's in a little bit of discomfort. You know the man who's going to take the penalty, that is for sure. He just clips in with his boot. He doesn't go with his hands, Jordan Pickford.
It's an unusual one, isn't it, Kieran? The way he slides in, I mean, it's almost like he's trying to do like a sort of the way that De Gea used to dive out and save the ball with his feet. Pickford's trying to do that, but instead of saving the ball, he's actually trying to take the ball off the top off Schade's. I mean, it's an unusual one, I have to say. I don't think that VAR is going to correct the referee and tell him that Pickford needs to go, but it's a glorious chance for Brentford now.
Yeah, well, they're unbeaten in their last 3 games at the G-Tech Everton, but this has been an abysmal start for them. Igor Thiago, he's ready to place the ball down on the ground. He takes a few deep breaths. A good opportunity for him to add to his already impressive goal tally this season. He's dispatched of 3 of his last 5 penalties. As we see the Brazilian ready to step up. He takes more deep breaths as he's waiting on the referee. Jordan Pickford is pretty good from penalties himself, but he's the man who gave it away. Thiago steps up and he just about gets the better of Pickford, who went the right way. You think if it's a bigger goalkeeper, they're probably saving it, aren't they? But he gets it in the corner. It doesn't feel like he gets an insane amount of power on it, but it's an early lead for Brentford 3 minutes in.
Yeah, Brentford will be delighted about the goal. As you say, technically it wasn't a brilliant penalty from Igor Thiago, but the main thing is that it hits the back of the net. He's just fresh back from international duty with Brazil as well, so it's important for him to get back to scoring ways. Good to see that Schade is back on his feet after the challenge from Pickford. We'll see the replay as he steps up. That stutter, I think, just takes a little bit of the pace off the shot, but it is a really good strike. It's side-footed with plenty of power, and Pickford was close to it, but Thiago confident and Brentford in front.
Yeah, fantastic penalty in the end from Thiago, and a very quick start for the home side. It's a nightmare start for not just Everton themselves, but for Jordan Pickford in particular. Gave away the penalty. It was just a simple ball in behind towards Kevin Schade. He almost just cut through the heart of the defence to get there. We know that's one of his biggest aspects, or biggest appraisals of his game, Kevin Schade, that pace in behind. Yes, I think he's gone off the boil a little bit as of late. Hasn't really lived up to the expectation or hype around him. Of course, linked with really big moves with the likes of Dortmund sniffing around as well. But he has gone quiet over the last couple of months or so, but that's a big moment for him.
It is a big moment. I think that's we'll see when they're showing us a replay of the entire move. It's a long ball that's just missed by 2 Everton players, and it's Dango Atara threading that through towards Sharda. I mean, Sharda is a player that he's either superb or he's just completely vacant. He's almost like he's not on the field, and he does have that slightly moody element of his game, which I think can sometimes help him, just to give him a little bit of extra rocket fuel. But that was a really good run into the box, clumsy challenger from Pickford. Everton now looking to try and respond as quickly as they can.
Yeah, ball down the left-hand side is a really poor one towards Dewsbury Hall, but I can finally actually run you through the lineups. Of course, we've said a few names already, so you'd presume that they're starting, but for Keith Andrews' side, he has an 11 of Kelleher in goal, a back 4 of Coyote, Collins, Vandenberg and Lewis Porte, with a midfield duo of Yarmolyuk and Jensen. Attacking trio of Ouattara, Damsgaard and Sharda, who are all sat behind Igor Thiago, who leads the line and already has a goal to his name. What a campaign he's having in front of goal. I'll bring you the Everton lineups in a moment, but it's Brentford on the attack down the left-hand side. It's promising as well. Ball whipped in towards the back post, headed away by Branthwaite, only as far as a Brentford man, then cleared by Idrissa Gana. Again, Yarmolyuk recovers it and goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. For Everton, they have Pickford in goal. Back 4 of O'Brien, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Mikolenko. Midfield 2 of Ghana and Gay, with McNeil and Jai on the wings, and Dewsbury Hall sat just behind Beto, who leads the line in this one. Haven't seen Beto be able to get involved in this opening 6 minutes.
I'm not sure he's had a touch yet, has he? Although that might change now, as Yarmolyuk was put under a little bit of pressure, but he just about held onto the ball. Leaves it now for Jensen, who tries an early ball down the right-hand side here for Coyote.
Yeah, ball towards Coyote now, who's in possession. Looks for a back heel to keep it in play, but he can't. He goes out of play in the end. So we can see the Brentford bench watching on. Pretty happy with the start that's made. It's definitely a thin bench, isn't it, for Brentford? A lot of youngsters on there, the senior players centre half. So if you're ever chasing a goal, you don't feel like it's the perfect maybe squad available to you, which is why that early goal is so important, mate.
Yes, absolutely. When you see the squad numbers, high 40s and 50s, you know these are youth players, players brought in into the squad and into the Premier League sort of registration later on in the season. But Brentford are missing a whole stack of players, all of whom would be pushing for a starting place. Carvalho's not really been able to make it work for Brentford this season, but he is out long-term injured. De Silva's been injured for a couple of seasons now. Rico Henry's back out on the injured list, as is Aaron Hickey, Vitaly Janelt and Milambo, who's struggled to make an impact this season as well. So all of those players, if they were fit, most of those players, certainly the likes of Carvalho, De Silva and Milambo, would be options for Brentford up front. But we're just getting a few highlights of other games as well. There was a good opportunity for Burnley to take the lead against Brighton. They have taken. I'm not sure if the flag has gone up in that game. I think it has. So there's no goal there, but certainly a promising start for Burnley in that one.
Yeah, rightly so. Offside against Jaden Anthony as well. The goal has been ruled out. It was close though.
It was closer than it looked on first look. When they do the freeze frame, it was much closer. But he is still in an offside position. Camera now focusing on Keith Andrews. I mean, he's been being asked about Europe for the last couple of months. I just think maybe it's a little bit premature. Of course, Brentford are in that position where they can be competing for a European place. It's just a case of maintaining that consistency until the end of the season.
Yeah, you now see Brentford on the left-hand side. Sharda loses out towards James Garner. Dwight McNeil plays it in behind, looking for Beto, who's onside. It's unconventional defending from Vandenberg, who then plays a terrible pass, and Jai steps in, falls to Beto in the penalty area, opens it up, goes for goal. It's blocked away and out for a corner. Well, it looked like good defending initially from Vandenberg. Then he played a terrible pass that just gifted it to Njai, who you really don't want to give a gift to, and it goes for a corner.
Well, no, I mean, if it deflected off his face, he then used the help of Collins to get the ball under control. Then he played a really risky pass to Yarmolyuk just in front of his penalty area, and from there Everton were able to capitalise, and now they forced a corner as well.
Yeah, corner coming up. A lot of big players in that area as well for Everton. It's a really physical matchup, isn't it, today between these two sides? You think got 4 giants to aim for: Beto, Branthwaite, Tarkowski, O'Brien, all lurking in and around that back post. Beto stays at the front post in case maybe it comes back across the face of goal. And as Dwight McNeil is going to whip this one in, and he's going to look towards the back post where a few players are located, headed away to the edge. Dewsbury Hall finds James Garner. He takes a few touches and then puts it into the area, but it's well cleared away by Curley. What a challenge that is from Branthwaite, but the counter-attack's still alive. Thiago's ball to the right is really poor though. But that tackle from Branthwaite was fantastic.
It was. Didn't stop Coyote appealing for a free kick though when he hit the deck. He thought there might have been a foul on him as he was trying to go for the ball, but no, nothing like that at all. It was a decent challenge from Branthwaite. And then the counter for Brentford, unfortunately, was been and gone after Thiago played the ball to Jensen. In an ideal world, it would have been Jensen playing into Thiago because then it might have been a better pass.
Yeah, exactly that. As Tarkowski goes all the way back to Jordan Pickford. Just looking a bit shaky at times, Everton, in this opening 10 minutes, but they're definitely starting to get more control of it, which is natural. They are 1-0 down, very early doors, so you think Brentford could very well just maybe, not the game plan goes out the window, but they just adjust slightly because they do have that lead already. But Keith Andrews will be hoping his side can still just go for it, try and build on that 1-0 lead so far. As Paul mentioned earlier, no wins in 4 at home for the Bees, drawing 2 and losing 2, so they'll be desperate to get back to winning ways, but they are unbeaten in their last 4 games in the Premier League, which will give them the confidence that we've seen so far. Now see Idrissa Gana Gay goes all the way back towards Jordan Pickford, just struggling to get key players involved so far. Everton, the likes of Iliman Ndiaye, just been a little bit quiet on the left-hand side. Beto not seeing a lot of it, Jusri Hall not seeing a lot of it.
No, and it's always an issue, I think, when you've got players playing through the middle that aren't seeing much of the ball. That's an indicator that the side just haven't quite got their possession right yet. And there again, we see Idrissa Gana Gay playing a ball out to Mikalenko, and he actually missed his teammate by about 5 yards there. And we could see a slightly frustrated David Moyes, because an early penalty like that can happen in a quick Premier League game. There's always that risk, but I think he wants it just a little bit more, just the passing just to be that little bit crisper from his players at this stage.
Yeah, definitely. It has to be crisper as well. We've seen a couple of those passes that have just been a little bit overhit and gone behind for a throw-in. As we now see Lewis Potter down the left-hand side. He's been brought down by James Garner. No free kick given, much to the dismay of the former Hull man. As we now see Beto turns away from his man, but it's really well recovered in the end by Kevin Schade, just stepping in, the German, doing the defensive duties, which you absolutely have to do when you're a player in this Keith Andrews setup. Really big on that, as Thomas Frank was as well. As we now see the ball in the middle of the park as Brentford turn away, ball to the left-hand side. They're still on the attack, still in possession. Everton just struggling to really get out for the time being. Brentford still just moving it along. Ball goes towards the left-hand side once more. Lewis Potter. As Brentford looking after it, it's almost like they're just waiting for Everton to apply that press so they can maybe try and play through it. Don't have to take any risks, do they, Brentford, in possession at the moment. Vandenberg, pretty advanced though himself. He finds Ouattara. Now it's across to Coyote. Back towards Ouattara again, who looks to get the better of a couple of plays, but it's well defended by Mikalenko. Ouattara slides in and gives away the free kick in the end. But yeah, Brentford just trying to look that little bit patient, it seems, when they're just creeping into the final third.
Yeah, I think so. I think that certainly Brentford, you always assume them with playing sort of very direct, quick through balls, trying to get the players out wide into the game. But that always has its risks. There's always more chances of turnovers, losing possession, having to then chase after the ball. And as you mentioned, because Everton are 1-0 down, it does mean that Brentford can just sit on the ball a little bit more and actually try and draw Everton out and to just keep that possession. But a long ball now towards Igor Thiago is hooked up in the air by Tarkowski, the former Brentford man. But the Bees now back in possession on the right hand.
Yes, now see the ball back with Coyote. Turns away from his man, plays it to the left-hand side for Collins. Collins still in possession. He finds it to the left. That's a poor ball as well, a really poor ball in the end from Damsgaard, who we've not said his name too much, struggled to get involved up until this point, but we've seen a few of those passes really just off the boil so far. As now see Garner, he's been caught out in the middle, but he wins it back, but now it's back with Damsgaard again. Garner steps in, but he's been taken down by Damsgaard. He's got a little bit of a knock from it as well, but he'll be okay to continue and get straight back up to his feet. Of course, Burnley Brighton are still 0-0 as well. We will keep you updated. The scores on the doors in that one. As we now see Garner back on the ball. He goes across towards Branthwaite. Branthwaite is in possession. Finds Garner. He's going to open it up. Maybe switch it to the right-hand side. He keeps going himself, does the recently called up England midfielder. Of course, he played pretty well in the game against Uruguay in the opening first half. He saw a lot of the ball, put a lot of challenge in Wembley. As you see Njai on the attack, it's a good footing from Coyote, who's still there, finds Ouattara. He's going to look to potentially clear his lines, plays it off Mikolenko, goes behind for a good goal kick, and it's good work in the end from Ouattara.
It is. I mean, he left it until the very last second there. He was pretty much on the corner flag when he was trying to force that ball. There was a risk that he might have given away a corner, but it actually worked out very well. I think he was quite happy to just let the ball go out for a throw. With the deflection, it just ended up rolling up for a goal kick. But what you said about James Garner, I'm impressed with him, the fact that he's just got on with things very quietly. He's not like a sort of boisterous midfielder. He's not a huge sort of loud personality on the pitch, but he actually does really good work for Everton, and he's gone from being an occasional player to playing sort of half the games, to being a regular sub, to now being a regular starter in that central midfield. And I think he was valued for his England call-up.
Yeah, he definitely was. He's so versatile as well, isn't he? Which I think in international football as well, if you ever feel like you need to make a change in a competition, that's the kind of players you want on the bench, rather than, as daft as it sounds, rather than just picking the best players. As we now see Coyote brings it down, it's well cleared away by Mikolenko. That's a great first touch from Dewsbury Hall to get away from Yarmolyuk. He's going to drive into the Brentford half, puts it onto his stronger left foot. He then finds Dwight McNeil, takes a few touches, looks down the line towards Beto, doesn't foul his man. A good physical battle between him and Vandenberg. He did foul him. The free kick goes the way of Brentford.
It does, and Farai Halam, our referee, he tends to be one of the ones who prefers to allow a little bit of contact rather than just blowing the whistle straight away. So the fact that he's called up on this, let's just have a look. Yeah, there's just a little bit too much. He's sort of pulling back at Nathan Collins, or Vandenberg, I think it was in the end. And the referee on hand to give the free kick, but Brentford take it short and they give it away.
Yes, we now see the ball in the middle. It falls towards Damsgaard. Now it's going to be a Coyote. It's just got really almost low quality, hasn't it, in this one? Both sides looking really sloppy. Brentford won't care as much because they've got that early lead via the penalty from Igor Thiago. As we now see the ball in the middle again.
They've got to be careful though, Brentford, because they always have, just like Brentford always have a goal in them, they always have a goal to concede in them as well. It is a side that can be sometimes very open at the back, and we've already seen a couple of loose passes, and as you said, it's just a little bit scrappy in midfield right now.
Yes, we now see Coyote goes across towards his man now. It's on the left hand side. The drive forwards still on the attack now. It's going to be with Jensen. Ball to the left hand side once more. Now it's going to be with Vandenberg, who's got options. He finds Coyote, who's going to look to drive forward. 17 minutes on the clock. It is still Brentford 1, Everton 0 between these two sides. They've only lost once in their last 8 in the league. Brentford, you can tell they're playing with that little bit of confidence so far. They started with that urgency from the mistake at the back from Everton and pouncing upon it. As you see, Coyote goes across to the left hand side. It's like Everton can't really suss out whether to apply a press at the moment or not. Try force mistakes. The mistakes being forced in the end, but I wouldn't say Everton are really trying to force the mistake.
No, they're not. It may well be that they've just been just trying to sit back a little bit, hope that they can pick off a loose pass. But I think the way that Brentford are playing in midfield right now, I would recommend that Everton do press, because they will get some loose balls out of that.
Yeah, they definitely could. As you see the ball in the hands of Mikolenko, he throws it down the line looking towards Beto, but it goes out of play for another Everton throw-in. Charlton taking the lead in the Championship at home to Preston, 1-0 in that one. Still in the hand of the Ukrainian fullback, waiting for the play to resume. We now see Ghana into Beto, and it's a nice play from him to find Dewsbury Hall, who just looks to hook it over the top. He really didn't need to do that, did he? Dewsbury Hall could have carried it further a little bit more himself. Hawks would have grabbed a big goal in there. Relegation battle against Watford, so 1-0 to Oxford in that one as well. Starting to play in the Championship. Brantwaite's going to hit one from distance, and he caught it really well at the centre half. Great connection. It goes just wide of the near post in the end. Seeing it back once again, but without too much of a big run up to it. I mean, absolutely thundered that.
Well, it has. I mean, there's a nice bit of roll. There's a nice roll on the ball, and he's just really put his left foot through that. He was shooting from the left-hand side, so it really would have to take something very special to beat Kelleher. But then Kelleher was diving across. He was probably a little bit worried when he first sort of saw that shot. So it was a decent effort from Brentford.
Yes, we now see ball in the. Well, the referee's having a word with a few players. He might just be bringing a couple together. There's no surprise. I wondered how long it'd be till the referee started to have a word with Tarkowski and Thiago at any point. I don't really know what they were doing there.
I mean, I need to see that again as to whether or not there was something from Thiago, but it looked to me like Tarkowski put the ball out for a throw and then running back into position, he just bumped straight into Thiago. Now, whether or not Thiago was trying to sort of make some contact with Tarkowski to stop him from getting into position, I don't know, but certainly Tarkowski didn't look particularly happy there. The Everton captain, referee having a word with him, and now it's a throw to Brentford. It's more than 30 yards from goal, but this will still be a ball launched in by Michael Coyote.
Yeah, of course, formerly of Brentford is Tarkowski. Left the club for Burnley in 2016. This is going to be a long throwing in from Michael Coyote. Now, we know he's got one on him. He launches it in towards that 6-yard box. It's been cleared away only as far as Njai on the Everton left-hand side. And it's going to be hooked long. Blackburn have now taken the lead against Stoke, so another big goal at the bottom end of the Championship.
Yeah, I mean, I was punished with doing a Blackburn game over the Easter weekend at home to West Brom. I don't think they could have played 3 games in a row, those two, and they wouldn't have scored. It was just a very, very dull game. So Blackburn needing those points there as they look to try and get away from relegation trouble. Once again, the Championship, a fascinating league, but both at the top and the bottom this season.
Yeah, an unbelievable league, isn't it? The Championship, you never know what to expect as we now see the ball whipped in towards the back post. Shada gets there. It's a bit of a mix-up between him and Coyote. It feels like they're just getting each other's way at one point. It's Shada who makes the contact with it, but it may have even been blocked by Coyote. Not too sure.
They did seem to get each other. Coyote had his arm up for a second there, appealing a handball. I don't know if that was just an instinctive thing that footballers do anytime they think it might be a handball. If there was any logic in that. The ball's not gone out of play yet, so we can't comment on whether there was any handball. It's now Everton back in possession, but they need to start pushing forward a bit. Everton, the last few minutes, they've spent it all inside their own half.
Yes, you now see Mikolenko in possession. He plays it to the left for Njai. Looks to just roll it away from Coyote. Plays a great ball down the line for Dewsbury Hall. Ball flashed across the face of the penalty area. It's a fantastic ball. Beto on full stretch just can't get there, but he really threw himself at it. It's still alive though. Here's Garner on the right hand side. He finds O'Brien back towards McNeil, opens it onto his left foot. He swings the ball into the area, well headed away. Only falls as far as interesting. Gallagher goes for goal. It's spilled away. What a double save that is from Kelleher. There's an offside flag in the end, but the goalkeeper wasn't to know. Everton coming so close, but a big double save.
Oh, it's a fantastic save from Kelleher. I think only the first one will actually statistically count as a save, because I think the second one will be from an offside position. But we'll see as this first ball is put in. There is no offside. The ball is headed away, and when that strike comes in from Idrissa Gana Gueye, Iliman Ndiaye is in an offside position. Doesn't really go for the ball. I don't think Beto wasn't offside. I mean, exactly. I was only looking at Ndiaye because Beto never looked like he was in an offside position. But the first save from Kelleher is good. The second one is excellent. He is helped by the fact that the second shot is sent to the same arm where he was already on the deck. If that second shot had been to his left, I think he would have been in real trouble there.
Well, that second shot, the one from Beto, is really poor.
It is poor.
I mean, he's got a tap in from a few yards. He's leaning back. He doesn't look like a top-level striker.
And if he scores that, VAR would have to check it, because the flag only went up after Kelleher made the save, and it would have counted, because there's no way that Beto was offside there.
Yeah, exactly. It certainly didn't seem so, but with that, 23 minutes on the clock, we've reached the halfway stage of this first half. It's just starting to heat up that little bit more. It's starting the intensity is starting to flow. It feels like Everton are ramping it up a little bit. The cameras linger on Kelleher for the time being, but thanks to the penalty early doors from Igor Thiago at the halfway stage of this first half, it is Brentford 1, Everton 0, and it'll be Paul to take you through to half-time.
Thank you very much, Kylian. They're showing us a real sort of microscopic replay of that offside now, and we'll see from this angle. So well, maybe it might be his heel that's offside. They would have got the dreaded lines out there had he scored, but he doesn't score. He hits the ball straight at the goalkeeper. He wouldn't be much good as a goalie coach either there, Beto, because the goalie coach would be deliberately putting the ball on the other side to make sure that Kelleher has to do a bit more work to make a save. But in the meantime, there's an issue here for Brentford. Their young Ukrainian international here, Yeko Yarmolyuk, is down on the ground. He's hobbling a little bit as he goes off the field. We've already mentioned that Brentford are threadbare in terms of options on the bench, with so many young players having to fill the spaces, if you like. So I'm not even sure what they would do, actually. And potentially, if it turns out that Jarmoliak has to go off, what they may do is actually ask Damsgaard to sit in a slightly deeper role and bring on Reece Nelson, or indeed Donovan. That is the other option they could potentially do, to bring on Romelu Donovan as well. So we'll wait and see what happens. But for the time being, it looks like Jarmoliak is going off just to change a shirt, and it looks like he's going to be okay to play on. So we'll keep an eye on that, of course. Just the one other game in the Premier League, and it is still goalless at Turf Moor between Burnley and Brighton. And in case you missed it, in the early game today, it was just a small matter of Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 2. Incredible result, really, when you consider how the season is going. And actually, a couple of pundits were saying that potentially Bournemouth could cause Arsenal problems there, and they ended up doing exactly that. So, yeah, all eyes on the Etihad tomorrow. Stamford, Chelsea travel to Manchester City, I think, tomorrow in the later game. No, they don't. They travel to London for the late game tomorrow, just to correct that. So Chelsea, Man City is the late game tomorrow. 4 games at 2 o'clock. Palace, Newcastle, Forest, Villa and Sunderland, Spurs. I myself am on duty for that last one. Spurs away to Sunderland. I must admit, I can't wait for that game. I think there's going to be real tension and potentially real drama in that one as well. But back at the G-Tech, 25 minutes on the clock. Everton in possession down the right-hand side here with Jake O'Brien. Pass in. Is just rolled back towards the halfway line now for Tarkowski. Into Dewsbury Hall, just dropping a little bit deeper. Now Branthwaite inside the centre circle, being closed down by Igor Thiago. And it's fair to say, I think Thiago's touched the ball, 3 times, including the penalty. He's barely been able to get into the game, but now it's O'Brien pressing here against Keane Lewis Potter. And probably just a little bit too much physicality. No, the referee allows it, and then it's a cross coming in towards Beto. He's not going to miss that. That is a powerful header. Brentford were relying too much on a free kick, which they weren't going to get, and when that cross came in, Beto did the business. What
a header that is from Beto. I guess VAR are going to check whether Brentford should have had a free kick. They're all complaining towards the referee and the Brentford players, but they never gave up. Everton on that attack. Their fans have been sent into raptures. It's a really big goal for the Blues, but a great header from Beto. It would have been easy just for his head to drop after that miss moments ago, even though the offside flag did go up. It's a lovely diagonal ball from Tarkowski down the channel on the right hand side. Did just feel like O'Brien may have fouled Lewis Potter initially. The referee waved continue. Is Lewis Potter just a little bit soft? I mean, it's a physical mismatch and he's miles onside. It's better.
Well, yeah, because of where Lewis Potter was, he is going to be onside. I mean, I suppose. I mean, look, is Lewis Potter being a bit weak, or is he constantly being held across the chest there? I mean, I don't think that VAR are going to rule this out, just because they do tend to allow a little bit of physicality there. I think that it's a difficult one. I think on another day, another referee may have given that as a foul. But once that ball gets into the 6-yard box, Beto is just using the pace of that cross to guide it past Kelleher. We're seeing a number of replays here. I'm not sure, have they gone back to the centre circle? I think they have. So for the time being, yes, it's been confirmed. It's taken a little while, but they have now confirmed that that goal will stand. It's a 1-1 here at the G-Tech, and Brentford can't say this has come from nowhere. Everton have had a couple of good chances. They've had a lot of possession. In fact, when you add up the 27.5 minutes we've had as the visitors, Everton would actually be quite pleased with how much attacking possession they've had. So we'll see how Brentford respond now as the ball is pumped long towards the edge of the Everton penalty area. Branthwaite is out to head that for a throw. Chance now for Michael Coyote to get this ball as far forward as the camera focusing on Farai Halam, our referee. Mentioned earlier that he is a referee that tends to allow a little bit more physicality compared to other Premier League referees. I can think of a few that probably would have given a free kick for that, but it's Coyote now waiting to take this throw. That Everton penalty area is flooded with potential targets here for Coyote, and he launches that one into the 6-yard box. It's headed up in the air. Second ball back into the 6-yard box is hooked clear by Tarkowski. Then it's Coyote's header back into the penalty area, and now there will be a free kick against Igor Thiago for the push on Tarkowski.
Yeah, I thought it was going to get pushed Tarkowski to the ground there. I thought they both challenged the same thing, and it may have been his own player, but he's not happy about something. Is the Everton skipper, but just dealing with the long runs pretty well. You feel like if there's ever a setup to deal with set pieces, It's probably Everton's, isn't it? Because they've got absolute giants back there.
They have. I mean, Mikalenko's the shortest, and he's not even a short player. But I say O'Brien is competing to be the tallest fullback after, of course, Dan Burn held that title for many years before he got switched back to being a centre-back again. Everton now on the attack down the left-hand side as it's played out for a throw. Mikalenko is across. He does have a long throw, perhaps it's not quite as blistering as Coyotes, but he can certainly launch this from this sort of range, being level with the 6-yard box. He's going to be able to easily get this into the penalty area and pick out a teammate. Plenty of pushing and shoving inside that penalty area as well, as it is Mikalenko's ball into the 6-yard box. Igor Thiago is back there, he heads it clear. Schade then stabs that ball into space. He's going to chase it himself, but Everton do leave, of course, one player back there just in case, and that was O'Brien. He goes back to Pickford, and then sends a ball down the left-hand side, which is headed away by Dango Otara. He then chases that ball himself. Branthwaite gets in his way, and the referee's quite happy with all of that. The ball stays in play, and then Brentford have it back. This is it's almost like playing FIFA where the referee's been turned off. But in any case, it's now with Otara over the halfway line, pushing forward. He finds Schade. Schade in the middle of the park. That's a strong challenge from Idrissa Gueye. Schade stays down. Referee says play on, and he's letting everything go in.
Yeah, how on earth was that not a foul from Ouattara on Branthwaite? Just absolutely clattered into his back. I mean, I'm not too sure what the referee's doing in that situation, but 30 minutes on the clock. It is still 1-1 between these two sides. Brentford give it away once again.
They do, and yeah, as I say, the referee, I mean, you know, we've been saying this all season, that it seems like refereeing goes in sort of, it's almost like a trend where the referee's WhatsApp group is hot on this subject this week. So this kind of foul or this kind of push is going to get blown up every time, whereas the others are going to be let go. But now Everton on the attack, a long ball to Beto. It doesn't quite reach him, but the second ball might stay with Dewsbury Hall. It's good work from Collins to get that ball away. And then it's Jensen who was challenged, and that will be a free kick against Idrissa Gueye. He's wagging his finger at the referee, but I don't think that's going to make any difference. It is going to be a free kick to Brentford in the middle of the park. That's just been a bit of respite for the home side, who are really feeling the pressure here. That's well, it's not great from Idrissa Gueye. I think if he'd made any real contact with Jensen, he probably would have been booked for that as well.
Yeah, it's really late, isn't it, from Jensen? Just goes through his man, takes him down. Idrissa Gueye again, just giving a thumbs up to a teammate on the referee, just having a word with him. But yeah, it was a poor chance. He's been flying in to a couple over the last 5 minutes. These players starting to get into it. Like we said, it's a really big game for both these clubs. It feels like these are the two sides. If anyone's gonna really climb into the top six is a bit of an upset, it would be one of these two sides. So that 3 points is vital. You feel like a point might not be enough, right?
No, they end up just having they'll be on the same. To say, nothing will change in terms of their gap to the rest. But here come Brentford now with Damsgaard at the edge of the area. His ball into the box cleared by Mikalenko. No, absolutely. A draw doesn't help either side really. They need to try and go for the win, both of them, and that's why hopefully you should keep the pace of this game and the tension in this game as high as it has been so far. As a ball in towards Damsgaard. Really good work there from Dewsbury Hall to win that back for Everton. It's now with Ndiaye working into the middle, gets that ball out towards Idrissa Gueye. It's down the right-hand side now. Half a chance here for Everton to get forward, but Brentford are back in numbers. So with Dwight McNeil, we've hardly mentioned him in the game so far. I mean, he has the potential to be a real. I mean, he's a real mercurial player. As in, you know, he goes from being completely anonymous to just being, you know, very, very difficult to deal with. You know, really good. Left-footed player playing on the right-hand side. He's just been struggling for form and for fitness for some time now. If Everton can keep him fit, he certainly would be a danger. As here come the Toffees now down the left-hand side. It's a ball in from Mikalenko, which is charged down by Coyote. Clearance reaches Igor Thiago. There were shouts of handball, but Thiago is able to turn. There's nobody further ahead of him, so the pass has been given away. Everton now back in possession here with Idrissa Gueye towards Dewsbury Hall. Just rolling that ball back to Branthwaite. Out towards James Garner on the left-hand side. 33 minutes, it is still 1-1. Everton on the attack now. Garner's ball in towards Beto. Just gets away from Vandenberg. It's with Ndiaye at the edge of the area. Bit of a fall there, but no foul, says the referee. And now a chance for Brentford to go on the counter. It's Damsgaard out to the right-hand side here for Igor Thiago. Thiago, they're trying to switch play out towards the left. And it's a really good ball as well to pick out Jensen. There's an assisting runner there in the form of Lewis Potter. But Jensen goes alone. And Jensen goes for goal. And he does force a good save out of Pickford. Doesn't get as many goals as he used to back in the day, Matthias Jensen there, but he has got a great right foot on him, and that was a good effort.
Yeah, he's tried to catch him out, hasn't he? He's opened it up as if he wants to bend it into the far corner, but he goes to the near post. That's a great save from Jordan Pickford. He reads it really well, flies across.
That was going to go inside the post.
What a save that is. That is unbelievable from England's number one. And he's going to go behind for a corner. But yeah, Matthias Jensen, I like the creativity. Like I said, opened it up. Any play usually goes to bend it towards the far corner. He went for the near post.
He did, yeah. It's quite something to feint a shot from outside the box, but that's exactly what he did. Everything suggested he'd be trying to pick out the top corner. Went the other way, and it's Brentford's first corner kick of the afternoon. It's taken them 34 minutes, and it will be the man who just took the shot, which led to the corner, Jensen himself, who's going to whip this one in towards the near post. It gets a deflection off, I think it was O'Brien, but then after that it flicks off Schade, so it's harmlessly out for a goal kick to Everton. Pickford, as always, giving his instructions out in stereo to his, maybe even in surround sound. He's that loud, isn't he? Jordan Pickford, always very animated in terms of his communication with his players, but that's part of who he is. I think he needs that to sort of keep himself in the game. I think he needs to get bark out a few instructions, say something to his teammates after every set piece. It's part of who he is as a player, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It is. Set piece going to be massive today, aren't they? That's going to be very clear. Two very physical sides up against each other, but I think both sides are dealing with them pretty well so far. But with how scrappy it's getting at times, we're expecting a lot more of these long throw-ins, a lot more of these free kicks or corners to be brought in. It's Cameron's linger on Jordan Pickford. He's had a pretty busy opening 35 minutes.
He has, yeah. I mean, Kelleher's had his moments as well. Both keepers have already been tested a few times in this first half. It's exactly the kind of game I think that we were expecting in terms of both teams getting chances. And now Brentford have won the ball, and it's a chance to go for Dango Ouattara down the right-hand side. Branthwaite with a challenge. It's just a throw-on, but I think with that collision that... Actually, the way that Branthwaite's reacted, it looks like he might have given away a free kick there. But the stats in this game, Brentford have had 2 efforts. Both have been on target, the goal and the shot from Jensen, whereas Everton have had 2 efforts off target and 2 efforts on target. On target in addition to that as well. Yeah,
exactly. It doesn't matter if it's a free kick or not. It feels like it does have the same effect, doesn't it, with these long throw-ins. And it is a throw-in for Coyote, who's ready to launch the area again.
Yeah, absolutely. A long ball from Coyote into the penalty area, headed clear by Tarkowski. Such a big presence in terms of set pieces for Everton. Back on the halfway line, Yarmoliuk was the last man. He pumps a long ball towards the edge of the penalty area. It's quickly headed clear, bit of head tennis in midfield before it's back into Brentford possession here. Out towards the left-hand side now for Lewis Potter. Now it's with Ouattara. Ouattara looking for options. He fires that one into the 6-yard box. It's hooked up in the air. Slightly awkward angle there for Mikalenko, and Brentford have another corner.
Yeah, another corner coming up for the home side. They're starting to really find their rhythm again, aren't they, in this one? They had a really flat 10-15 minutes after they scored, where Everton just started to get on top. But Everton levelling things up seems to have just woken Brentford up that little bit.
It certainly has. It's given Brentford just that little bit more of an impetus to try and get forward. Just a quick glance across at Turf Moor. Still goalless there between Burnley and Brighton. More than a few sides watching that, particularly some of Burnley's neighbours down the bottom of the Premier League. But here comes the ball in from Jensen. Oh, it's headed onto the bar. Second save from Pickford. Must be. Oh, it's hooked away. Ouattara then back towards the edge of the area, and Schade can't get onto that one. The ball is cleared. It's nodded back in by Yarmoliuk. Everton with plenty of bodies back before the follow-up effort eventually goes crashing over the bar by some way. But we'll need a replay to dissect this, because Brentford were very close there.
Yeah, they were so close. It's a wicked delivery in towards Kevin Schade, flicked it on, really well saved. Then it was Ouattara who had a go. That was blocked away.
Is the first one off the bar and the second one a save?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or has he pushed the first one onto the bar?
Yeah, I don't know if he tips it onto the bar and it drops down. We're going to see a really good angle of it initially. So flicked on by Schade. Maybe it just crashes the bar. Comes back to Ouattara. Then it's saved by Pickford. It's dropped out and then it's blocked well away by Branthwaite. Really fascinating stat that I've just seen as well, which is a big surprise. Ando Thiago, first ever Brazilian to score 20 goals in the Premier League.
Yes, that's true. I mean, Brazil have had plenty of great players in the Premier League, but interestingly, not many strikers. And actually, Eagle Thiago, of course, back from his first ever international duty. was a lovely clip that Brentford shared on their social media of when Igor Thiago's family back in Brazil all watching the news where Carlo Ancelotti was announcing the squad, and as I say, it was a lovely moment when all the family realised that Igor Thiago was in the squad as well. And it's a really fascinating story. He didn't sort of start as a professional footballer in his teens. He had to sort of do it the hard way through non-league, through the lower leagues. He was actually working as a labourer on a building site before he finally managed to get his breakthrough as a footballer. I always think those players just have a bit more of an affinity with fans, because it's like the fans can appreciate that they've had the same life that they have, whereas a footballer that's sort of playing professionally from 16, 17, of course there's still a connection there, but maybe not quite as close in that sense.
Yeah, exactly. Extremely important in football. You see it all over the pitch. You see the link-ups to certain players. Just seen that chance back again though. We just saw Brentford having crashed it off the crossbar. Such a good opportunity. It was a good header from Kevin Chandler's. Matara's on the attack.
Yeah,
he goes for goal. Well,
Matara's effort is blocked there by Tarkowski. Loose ball now out towards the left-hand side for Ndiaye. Now a chance here for Everton, because it's 3-on-3. Brentford are getting back in numbers, but Everton have some space here down the left. Dewsbury Hall's ball into the middle is for Ndiaye. It wasn't the best pass because Ndiaye was surrounded by players. Igor Thiago has probably fouled his man, Garner, but the referee's allowed play to go on because Everton still keep it alive. It's O'Brien in towards McNeil. McNeil at the edge of the area, wants it on his left foot. He clips one in, looking for Ndiaye. The goalkeeper, Kelleher, is out. He punches that one clear. I think he's caught Ndiaye as he's done so. We play on for the time being, and Ndiaye is slowly picking himself up. He's okay, and Brentford clear their lines over the halfway, and it's back into Everton possession.
Yeah, and it's now Everton starting to get on top right before the end of the first half. 40.5 minutes on the clock, still 1-1 between these two sides. But yeah, it feels like these sides are just having like 10-minute periods each and taking it in turns, aren't they? There's no one really dominating this game, which kind of just tells you the league position. They are quite literally neck and neck in the table, aren't they? So, and I think it's showing that in the performance today.
It is, absolutely. Although Everton giving the ball away in midfield, Sharda with half a chance, but he runs straight into O'Brien. O'Brien dispossesses him quite easily, actually. And it's James Garner again now for Everton in the middle. Leaves it here for Dewsbury Hall. Towards the penalty area. He's got support down the left-hand side in the form of Mikalenko. Just stops his run, rolls this back in towards Garner. It's Mikalenko again. Back in towards Branthwaite. The visitors enjoying a good spell of possession here now in the middle of the park. It's Branthwaite in towards Ndiaye, who was supposed to be on the left, but he's pretty much playing in that number 10 free role, really. McNeil now, he needs to get into the game a little bit more. We've seen a lot more of Ndiaye and Dewsbury Hall than we have of McNeil. If we look at that attacking midfield three, but McNeil's ball into the box is a really good one after all the things I've just said. That was a nice deep cross, and it needed a good header away from Collins because Beto was lurking. Second ball back into the penalty area, nodded clear by Vandenberg, but now the referee has stopped play because of a head injury, and we're just going to have a quick stoppage now as it's Idrissa Gana Gueye who's down on the ground.
Yeah, he is, and he's still on the deck. He's sat up at the moment. I'm not sure if it was a heavy landing or just a bit of a heavy whack. It is a head injury, so they're going out to treat him straight away. David Moyes watching on, hasn't cracked his smile as of yet, but he'll be happy with how his side responded to such early chaos in the opening 3 minutes to concede a penalty. Really poor from Pickford standards and Everton standards to allow it to get to that position. Still 0-0 between Burnley and Brighton. Just had a penalty call, Brighton, but didn't get the decision. So we're going to see Thiago just getting some instructions from Keith Andrews as well. But like you said, Paul, he pops up with the goals. He doesn't get that involved in a majority of the games, does he, Thiago, just in terms of general play? And he's had a quiet one today.
He has, yeah. There's been a few, despite the game being played at a decent pace, there's still, I think, a level of scrappiness that neither manager would be that pleased with. And there's been a few big players for both sides that have been struggling, as we're hearing word of a goal at Turf Moor, but it's not for the home side. It looks like Brighton have taken the lead just towards the end of the half at Turf Moor. We'll confirm the goal scorer in just a moment. We're back underway here now. Idrissa Gana Gueye will be back on the field. I don't think there's any suggestion that he's going to have to go off. But Everton now having to track back here as Brentford push forward. It's down the right-hand side towards Coyote, holding it back to Jan Moliuk. To the middle now for Jensen. Back down the right-hand side for Otara. Tries to play an early ball, and it is a good ball as well. Into Coyote, who tries to find a teammate. It was Igor Thiago, but again, great defending there from Tarkowski. Right place, right time, and Idrissa Gueye. He generally just come back on the field, and he was close to that left-hand side, and he's now starting the move himself. He's heading all the way to the edge. Oh, it just slips slightly, just slows the move down, but he's still got enough time to pick out a pass for Beto. He was being marked, but then McNeil goes for goal. His shot crashes straight into Nathan Collins. And Brentford have it back here now with Mikkel Damsgaard. So we mentioned McNeil perhaps being a little bit anonymous. Damsgaard needs to get into the game a little bit more as well. He's had some real up and down moments for Brentford. Really struggled to make an impact when he first joined the club. When he finally got more of an opportunity in the first team, he started to grow into the player that we thought he could have been. Just again, the last couple of months is just form has just tailed off as we see the goal from Turf Moor. It's just a really precisely placed effort there, and it looks like it's Brighton that have taken the lead. The goal scored there by Max Wefer. Wefer giving Brighton the lead away to Burnley, as we've got around 30 seconds before we hit injury time in this first half. In possession here in midfield, and just thinking, is either manager going to be more or less happy? I suppose Everton are away from home, but I think both managers would say good and bad that first half.
I think David Moyes will be the happier because he conceded so early. It would have been so easy to just go into your shell and really struggle to adapt to the game, but they did pretty quickly and created chances, ended up getting the goal. I think Keith Andrews will be frustrated with how he said weren't really able to get their intensity going. Ball in behind, not a great one. It goes all the way through towards Jordan Pickford. 5 minutes of added time in.
A little bit surprised by the 5. I mean, I suppose we've had a head injury, we've had a couple of goals with the penalties. I suppose, if it was less than 3, we'd probably say it wasn't enough. So 5 minutes seems about right for what the referee felt that we've lost in this first half. So still time for either side to try and go into the break with a lead. It's down the right-hand side here now for O'Brien. Plays that one in towards Beto. Beto back towards Idrissa Gueye, and then Idrissa Gueye carries on his run as the ball was held up by McNeil. Idrissa Gueye now at the edge of the area, lifts that ball in. Beto is the intended target, but Kelleher does really well, considering that it's not his first love for claiming crosses. It's probably one of the weaker sides of his game, but he held on to that one pretty well, and he rolls it out, and now Brentford can try and turn defence into attack as Damsgaard was really well challenged there in the middle of the park. I think it was McNeil that put that challenge in, and now it's Ndiaye down the left-hand side here for Everton. Edge of the area, finds Garner. Garner almost gets onto the end of that, but that's good defending from Coyote. Just stops the run at the edge of the Brentford penalty area. It's back with Dango Otara now, who gave himself a little bit too much to do there. Needs support from Igor Thiago, who's being fouled by Mikalenko, and that will be a free kick to Brentford.
Yeah, good hold-up play, a little bit better from Thiago, just showing himself to get involved. They just took it, did Brentford, but the referee's going to order them to retake it. Then you're on James Garner starting to get involved in this first half, isn't he? Probably the one player who's not going to benefit from it going to half-time, but Brentford have us back underway.
They do. They took the free kick short. They actually sent a few players further forward, so not really sure of the logic of doing that and then taking a very short free kick, because now Everton are going to be able to take a very high line and to try and catch out everybody in the offside. But Brentford are still in possession here, just at the edge of the centre circle here with Vandenberg. Over to Yarmolia, down the right-hand side now for Dango Otara. Not a good ball back into the middle. It's cut out by Mikalenko, but then Mikalenko's pass is also cut out, but he was being fouled, says the referee, so that will be a free kick to Everton.
Yeah, it will be. Free kick going the way of Everton. It feels like both sides probably just wanting to get into half-time at this point. So a bit of tidiness creep in, some mistakes in terms of challenges going in. Watari, yeah, he's just a little bit late there, just grazed the ankle. It felt of Mikalenko. He's just about back to his feet. It's one of those where it's going to sting for a little moment, but the more he moves, the better he'll get.
Yeah, Mikalenko now back on his feet. He's become a regular fixture for Everton over the last 2 or 3 seasons. Much the established left back at previously Goodison, of course, and now at Hill Dickinson Stadium. David Moyes just looking across. I think Kieran made the point that Everton are likely to be happy with his first half. I agree. I think considering that they're the away side and they conceded early, and actually when you take all the possession they've had in this first half, compared to Brentford, they've probably been a little bit more accomplished on the ball as well. They've seen a bit more controlled midfield possession, and they're trying to move the ball now down the left-hand side. McNeil was probably fouled there by Lewis Potter. Rolls it back to O'Brien. Challenge there from Sharda. It is out for a throw to Everton on the right-hand side. Is O'Brien waiting to take this? Options has Jake O'Brien got here? Well, the first option he has is to move back about 10 yards. Because, of course, that's one of the things you can easily get away with on a football pitch, but actually, particularly now with all the long throw specialists, it's important that it is taken from the right spot. Cross whipped in by McNeil, doesn't make it through towards the intended target of Beto. Long clearance there from Kelleher, but Brentford have the ball back, and it's going from, well, nearly going from bad to worse. We're just getting a quick highlight reel of the last few minutes at Turf Moor, where Brighton were very close to doubling their lead.
Yeah, they were. He's shown some of the chances in that one, but it is half-time at Turf Moor in that game, so 1-0 to Brighton, only about a minute remaining at the GT.
Yeah, and it's Brentford on the attack now, down the left-hand side. It's with Sharda, about 40 yards out, into Jensen. Now it's with Lewis Potter. Early ball into the box. Good header away. Really good header away by O'Brien. Ball now into midfield, and there may still be enough time here for Everton to create another chance, but the ball has been won back from Beto. Played back towards Kelleher, and it's now down the right-hand side here with Yarmoliuk in towards Otara. That's not a good ball back from Otara, but we've had the full 5 minutes now. It's just a case of whether Mr. Hallam wants to add any more additional time. Brentford have still got the ball in the taxi. They may see this out as the ball in from Lewis Potter is headed away, and that will be it for this first half at the G-Tech. It's been an interesting game. Brentford taking the lead very early on after a penalty from Igor Thiago, but then Everton getting back into the game. They were value for their equaliser when Beto headed into it. It's 1-1 at half-time, and we're back in 15 minutes.
Half-time at the G-Tech Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Sharda in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the G-Tech Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Sharda in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the G-Tech Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Sharda in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the G-Tech Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Sharda in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through there. Number 9, it was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through there. Number 9, it was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through there. Number 9, it was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through there. Number 9, it was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through there. Number 9, it was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through there. Number 9, it was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through there. Number 9, it was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through there. Number 9, it was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through there. Number 9, it was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through there. Number 9, it was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Schade in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Igor Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Sharder in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Sharder in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Sharder in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Sharder in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Sharder in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fastest of starts from Brentford. It ricocheted to Kevin Sharder in behind, through on goal. He took it round Pickford. The goalkeeper took him down. He got a yellow card and a penalty for Brentford. Thiago dispatched of that for his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Everton then started to knock on the door. They got their leveller through their number 9. It was Beto with a bullet header into the far corner. Going into the break, it's 1-1. Half-time at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Everton 1. Well, it was the fast. And we will leave that just there, because we're about to get back underway at the GTEC Community Stadium. It is Brentford 1, Everton 1. After that first half, it was Brentford who took the lead in the opening few minutes. Then got Thiago with the penalty. It was well won by Kevin Sharder. Ball broke quite loose here in behind. He was taken down by Jordan Pickford, who got a yellow card for his troubles of the challenge, but they weren't able to hold on to the lead for too long. 20 minutes later, Everton levelled things up. It was a brilliant header from Beto into the far top corner. In the end, it felt like it probably a draw at half-time. It was a fair result. Neither side really dominating, both sides just having spells in this one. There has been a change at half-time. Damsgaard has made way for Reece Nelson. Damsgaard never really getting involved. It'll be interesting to see when Reece Nelson actually plays though, because it's 3 natural wingers on the pitch now for Brentford. That's a really poor ball from Kevin Sharder. Everton looking to start the half the better of the two as they finally get a little bit of possession. It is still myself, Kieran Graham, alongside Paul Shabakovic, bringing you coverage of this one. And Paul, I think we're just looking for a bit more consistency from both sides in this one.
We are absolutely, Kieran. Yeah, I think Everton overall, as the visitors and coming back into the game, they'll be the happier of the two sides at the start of the second half. But we mentioned in the first half that a draw doesn't do either side any favours. Either team to really advance into that top 7 and try and have a really good go at staying in the European place has to win this game.
As we now see the ball break through into the middle. Chisbury Hall plays it all the way back for James Tarkowski. In the middle for Tristan Carnegie. He plays a blind pass, and James Garner's really late into that challenge. Is he reckless in it as well? He is. He's going to get a yellow card for his troubles. The Brentford players absolutely fuming with James Garner. We're going to see it back once again. Was he that high? I'm not sure if he was, but he definitely was reckless.
Yeah, I mean, he's sweeping rather than actually studs up there, I would say, James Garner, but it is a foul. I don't think it's ever more than a yellow, but it certainly was a foul.
It definitely is a foul. Yellow card goes the way of James Garner in the end. So free kick opportunity readied for Brentford now. Just wait for it to be taken. James Garner lines up with his fellow teammates at the back. Like we said, set piece is really big in a game like this, with two very physical, tall sides up against each other. Everton have got more than enough players to deal with these situations. Four absolute giants on the pitch. As we wait for this to be taken now, it's going to be Jensen who hangs it into the area with real pace, and the header crashes the crossbar from Nathan Collins. A great ball in from Jensen, and in the end it crashes off the crossbar. I'm not sure if Pickford ended up getting a touch on it, but it does go behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it does go behind for a goal kick. Pickford is diving across. Don't think he gets a hand to it though, and it's off the bar, but it's a really good ball in from Jensen. Nice bit of whip on that as well.
Yeah, exactly that. And what a delivery it was. Great ball in from Matthias Jensen. As the ball's now with Jared Branthwaite on the left-hand side. He's going to carry it forwards, bundled over onto the left once again. Now it's going to be Van den Berg who finds Coyote. Coyote in towards Jensen. Looks like Burnley may have just levelled things up against Brighton. Big goal in that one. As we now see Lewis Potter, who's driving forwards now. He finds Jensen, turns away from his man, clips it into the middle for Nelson, who turns away once again. Nelson's still going on his own. And he plays it into the middle again for Collins, who switches it out to the far side. That's Van den Berg, who finds his man Ouattara. Back to Van den Berg once again. Burnley have just had another goal ruled out for a potential infringement. As Brentford just enjoying the possession so far at the start of this half. Everton struggling to really get a foot in. No chances as of yet though, as we now see Lewis Potter. He cuts inside onto his right foot, whips in. The header's been flicked on and it goes wide in the end. Flicked on by Sharp.
The flick on by Sharda may have actually taken it away from Igor Thiago. There's a frustrated look on both of those players now, as the ball found Lewis Potter on the left-hand side. He had enough space, got away from O'Brien, and well, it may well be that Igor Thiago would have been offside from that flick on anyway, so it's probably just as well it went out for a goal.
Yeah, Leicester are now losing at home to Swansea with quite a few of the other sides around them winning. This could be a really bad weekend for Leicester City.
Yeah, well, I mean, only two sides that have won the Premier League since it became the Premier League have been relegated. That was Blackburn and Leicester, but no side has ever ended up in the third tier, and that's a real big test now.
Yeah, it is, as it stands. Of course, a lot of football still to be played. They'll be 3 points away from safety. Will Leicester City, as we now see Ouattara comes away from his man, plays it into the middle for Yarmolenko. Now it's going to be Van den Berg who finds Jensen, who's under real pressure. He's done really well looking for Reece Nelson, who does get there. He plays it to the right for Ouattara, turns away from his man in it. It's nice play from Brentford. Ouattara's on the attack. He's still going himself. He finds Lewis Potter, takes a decent first touch, whips in towards the back post, and it's headed away. No free kick given in the end. Now see them step in once again. Yarmolenko towards the right hand side for Ouattara. Ouattara whips in, dangerous delivery, almost finds Thiago. Tarkowski gets there, and then it's cleared away by Branthwaite, but some dangerous deliveries. Brentford definitely on top this half.
They are. They've tried to start bright. I need to correct myself actually, because Blackburn did spend one season in League One back in the back in 17-18. But going back to the point, yeah, Brentford have started much the better side in the second half. But they needed to, because they didn't really play like a home team for long spells. Now Ouattara gets all the way to the byline. He can't find the cross, though. He's just trying to do too much there against Mikolenko. So say a good start this from Brentford, but they need to actually follow it up with a bit more attacking possession. They've got to be careful, because Everton can always surprise them with a counter.
Yeah, it's been a good start to this half for Brentford, creating a couple of half chances at that. But we now just see the ball with Kelleher. He now goes to the right hand side of Van den Berg. He's going to carry it forward. It's all gone just a little bit flat for the time being now, as it's Jensen once again who clips it towards the left. I think Everton would absolutely take a point, being the away side in this one. As you see Lewis Potter having a drive at his man. He's then onto his left boot. He looks to whip it in towards the back post. It evades everybody, almost kept alive by Ouattara, but then well cleared in the end by Everton. Only he tries the right hand side where you see Jensen. He opens up, whips in a wicked delivery, again cleared away by Tarkowski. I mean, some of the deliveries in this half from Brentford have been brilliant, but nobody attacking them, being able to make advantage of it. Here's Jensen again, driving forward, scoops it, a lovely little chip for Ouattara, who flashed it across the first goal, cleared away by James Garner. And then Jensen looking to win it back, and he does. It's a little back heel into the air. And now it's Ouattara, who's under a bit of pressure, but he back heels it off Mikolenko. That goes for a Brentford throw in. And it is well and truly on Keith Andrews' side.
It is 7.5 minutes in, but the question is, can Brentford actually test Jordan Pickford a little bit more? Because he's not really had too much work. There was that one effort that crashed against the bar, but now this long throw from Coyote may cause Everton problems. It's a short throw this time.
Yeah, definitely could. As the ball is being whipped in and hooked into the back post, glances off the head of Shada and goes behind for a goal kick. Disappointing.
It was in the end, yeah. The ball hooked in, and Collins getting underneath it couldn't do too much with that out for a goal kick. But we could see David Moyes just in discussion with his assistants there, because he won't want this early start for Brentford, spending all this time in the Everton half. He won't want this to continue indefinitely.
As we now see, it's ready to be taken now. The goal kick, 53 minutes on the clock, still 1-1 between these two sides. To go long up towards Beto, who's going to win it unchallenged in the air. He can only head it as far as Brentford play. Jensen then hooks it to the right hand side. Nice ball for Coyote, who's got a lot of space to run into. Does the Italian fullback. He's still going himself. He's Coyote, checks back, looks to play it. Oh, he's potentially going to look to play it to the far side. He goes down, no free kick given again. The referee definitely being lenient in those situations, and the forward ball to Beto is a really poor one. We've seen a lot of those passes.
Yeah, it's just nowhere near where it needed to be. It's 5-6 yards away from where Beto was stood. He had no chance of getting on the end of that. Here come Brentford again down the left-hand side.
As we now see Shada towards the right-hand side. It's Coyote finding Ouattara once again. He looks to turn away from his man. Confirmation he was offside again for Burnley's goal. So they've had 2 offside goals against Brighton today. Collins into Jensen. He looks to clip it in behind, but it's well cleared away once again. Now it's going to be with Garner looking to start the counter-attack, plays it down the line to the right-hand side once again. It's just nobody's on the same wavelength.
There's a nervousness about Everton, which they didn't have in the first half. It's interesting to see that, but here comes Igor Thiago, gets all the way to the edge there and puts the cross in. It's a little bit too far. Play back for Shada, whose effort is blocked inside the 6-yard box by Brathwaite.
Yes, we now see the ball on the right-hand side. Yarmolyuk now in possession. Plays it to the left-hand side for Lewis Potter. Now it's going to be Thiago. He whips it in. Decent ball in towards the back post, and it goes behind for a goal kick. But yeah, there's been a lot of talking points, but it just feels for the wrong reasons. It doesn't feel like, of course, we're watching 7th against 8th, both on 46 points, both got a great opportunity to really climb into the European spots. It does feel like it's the home side pushing for it, but a lot of mistakes.
Yes, there are a lot of mistakes. Too many mistakes. I think that there's a collective nervousness that's sort of spreading to both teams now, as we see a replay of that last effort from Shada, blocked by Brathwaite. In fairness, Pickford was literally stood just behind it, already starting to dive, so you'd imagine that he would have made the save anyway.
Yes, we now see them on the attack now. On the left-hand side, Idrissa Gana Gate plays it further left. Still pushing and driving at Coyote into the penalty area, flashed it across first goal, instantly blocked away though by Coyote, who's under a bit of pressure from Mikolenko. It's better pressure from Everton, trying to just force the error, and Coyote does really well. He celebrates it. Exaggerative there as he plays cheerleader with his fans, but it was good work for him to win the goal kick.
It was good work for him to win the goal kick. I'm certainly of a generation where seeing a player celebrating a clearance isn't my favourite thing, but in the meantime, what will be delightful for Burnley fans is that they thought they were back in the game. There is half a kneecap offside in the game at Turf Moor, which means the Burnley goal does not stand.
I mean, that couldn't get any closer, could it? That offside. I mean, that is so unlucky for Burnley there. A mistake from Bruggen. moments before it, as we see Kelleher boots it straight out of play. A poor distribution from him. He's had a pretty decent game so far. He's made a couple of good saves, but that's not his finest moment, the Irish goalkeeper.
Saw that one from Kelleher. Really, I'm not under any real pressure, and it's just invited attacking possession here from Everton.
Now see O'Brien goes across towards Better. He takes the awful touch and he puts it out for a goal kick. Really sloppy in this half. Everton, who I thought were probably the better side for the final 25 minutes of the first half, haven't been able to pick up on that or pick up on where they left off in the opening 45. As we see Lewis Potter, forward ball looking for Reece Nelson's well cleared away. And he's going to go all the way back to Tarkowski. Looks to turn away from Thiago. Tarkowski then hooks it all the way forwards towards Beto. Brings it down. Decent hold-up play from him as he turns away from his man, but then he does a little bit too much. And he's caught out by Reece Nelson, who takes some good touches, then a really poor one, and goes out for a throw-in. So more mistakes.
More mistakes, and again, Brentford have got to be careful here, because the bright start they've had in this game is in danger of just petering out, and Everton are just starting to grow into the game a little bit more.
There's nasty Jacob Bryan, lovely little flick away from his man, Dwight McNeil, on the attack, switched it to the left-hand side. They're all claiming for an offside, as it's over here anyway. The wind's completely taken that pass. I think Ndai wanted it just maybe drilled along the floor, hooked across to him rather than hooked in behind and over the top. Couldn't get there in the end. So now see Kelleher just looking to carry it forwards that little bit. He's got better pressure in him, but Kelleher does boot it long towards the right-hand side. It's well headed away by Branthwaite, only as far as Lewis Potter, who brings it down. And he's going to look to play down the left-hand side. It's a poor ball from him in the end that can only find O'Brien. Out for a throw-in. 59 minutes on the clock. Still Brentford 1, Everton 1. It is the home side that are definitely feeling like they're on top, but not creating too many chances. Everton creating absolutely nothing at the moment. As you see a throw-in in towards Beto. You see Vandenberg backpedaling to keep possession. And he does. Not a lot of players showing for him though. He's waiting that forward option. He's got Jensen for an option, but doesn't use him. Now Jensen's been brought into play by Collins. He shifts it to the right-hand side for Jan Molyuk, who's got Coyote for company. Coyote then down the line looking for Ouattara. It's completely over here. Branthwaite's going to make easy work of watching that out for a goal kick. We've just hit a real slow stage.
Yeah, there was always the danger that you could see a lull like this in the game with Everton, as it stands, able to sort of foresee what Brentford are going to do. So it's a bit of a sort of a slugfest at the moment. Brentford just trying to maintain that positive start they had, and they're struggling to get any kind of meaningful attacking possession. And from Everton's point of view, they're struggling to get out of their own half still.
As we now see on the far side, it's going to be another throw-in whipped in, but this is one of those stages where I think we mentioned it in the first half when Brentford were 1-0 up, and you really need a little bit of injection brought into play from your bench. It's tricky for Keith Andrews to look at his bench right now and think we've got the options to really get going.
He made the one change at the break, bringing on Nelson for Damsgaard. I don't think it's made much of a difference really. Nelson hasn't had too many opportunities to get into the game. Brentford now win the ball in midfield, and half a chance here for Lewis Potter, but he's been closed down, and Sharda crowded out of it in the end. So it's, as I say, Everton are able to do whatever they need to stop Brentford going forward. They've won themselves a free kick as well after a clumsy challenge from Sharda.
As you now see the ball in the middle, James Garner ready to take this free kick. Kevin Sharda with the foul once more. I wondered whether this would be a great day for Kevin Sharda, didn't you, after a really good start, but he's been pretty poor from that moment onwards.
He doesn't have much of a 7 out of 10 about his game. He's either a 5 out of 10 and he's very poor, or he's an 8 or a 9 out of 10. There doesn't seem to be a sort of middle level. That's a great ball into Beto, but a good save from Kelleher.
It is really good goalkeeping from Kelleher, because it's really clever from Everton. They're taking it quickly. Beto makes a great run. I would say it's just over here. It's almost perfect. I think it's just more good goalkeeping, but Brentford have lost out deep in their own half. Here come Everton on the attack. It's poor from Brentford initially. Ball from Njai finds Garner. He lays it off for Ghana in the penalty area, but it's well cleared away by Brentford, and here they come on the counter. It's Thiago, holds onto it for way too long, but he turns away from his man and he does pretty well in the end. It's a bit of a heavy pass, but Nelson gets there, plays it to the left for Lewis Potter, who's now driving forwards on the edge of the penalty area, plays it down the line for Ouattara, back to Lewis Potter again, who hooks it towards the back post, easily headed away by Mikalenko. Then Thiago's steaming in from the edge of the box, but he can't bring it down, and Ghana can hook it away down the line, looking for Beto, holding it up. He finds Ghana. It's going to be McNeil. Back towards Ghana again. He turns away from his man. He's then brought down. And that scrappy nature of this game continues.
Yeah, it's just slowing down that very brief possession that Everton were having with that foul from Lewis Potter. And it's catching this kind of scrappy play has definitely gone through to both teams now, and they really are struggling to get any kind of attacking headway at all.
Now see ball with Pickford. Need to get his back underway as we approach the 63rd minute of this one. Branthwaite across to Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall still on the attack, plays it to the right hand side for Ghana. He's going to look to clip it in behind as well for Dwight McNeil, but Collins gets there, clears his lines out for throw-in. It actually came off McNeil last, so it's a pretty poor moment from Dwight McNeil, who just can't hold on to it. We now see Lewis Potter throws it forwards towards Reece Nelson. Good challenge in from Idrissa Gana Gate. It's going to be with Mikalenko. He plays it across to Idrissa Gana Gate. It's going to be James Garner across to Jared Branthwaite. Now see Gana Gate again being caught out, and here come Brentford on the counter-attack. It's Coyote on the left-hand side of play, absolutely steaming forwards with pace. He's still going. He had an option to the right. He picks the complete wrong pass.
There's no option there at all. He's played the ball to an invisible player. It's only just about. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, and he's just about kept the ball's just about being kept in play, but the move slowed down completely.
Now see Collins driving forwards, and he goes for a goal with the outside of his boot. It's well blocked away. Just seeing the centre half starting to take matters into their own hands.
Well, they are. Everton now trying to move the ball down the left, and they've got a chance for a counter.
And here they are on the attack now. It's Sendai on the left-hand side into the penalty area. Cuts into his right foot, goes for goal. It takes a deflection, almost catches Kelleher off guard. Kelleher with a big save with his boot, but that deflection could have taken it anywhere.
Could have taken it anywhere, but Everton, for their part, they've done well to see out a little bit of a storm at the start of the first half, at the start of the second half. Since then, the game has really become, a real sort of scrap fest in the middle of the park, and Everton, I think for their part, maybe they need to just start being a little bit braver and pushing forward, because I think this Brentford team can be got at. Yeah,
I think that this game is definitely taken for Everton as well, but they're just not really wanting to have any form of control in it, which is slightly strange so far. Ball in behind, easily headed away by Tarkowski. Sharp turn from McNeil, who's driving forwards. He plays it towards Beto. It's back towards Ganagay again, who's played it to the left-hand side. It's Ghana with Dewsbury Hall. Plays it to the left-hand side for Mikalenko. Takes a touch, whips it in towards the back post where Beto's located. Collins just holding him just enough to allow it to bypass, and it's going to evade everybody and out for a throw. But yeah, Everton just slowly starting to get their moments in this.
They are. We could see that effort from Njai. That could have gone anywhere after that deflection. Is actually a really good reaction save there from Kelleher, just with his toe end getting a save on that one.
Let's see. Ball ready to be brought back into play. Still 1-0 to Brighton away at Burnley. So Burnley having the 2 goals ruled out for offside. So unfortunate for them, maybe sums up their season in that sense. But we see the throw-in taken, well cleared away. Then it's Branthwaite who heads it forwards. Ganagay brings it down, looks to hook it. Jensen slices it forward. It's not a great ball. Shard has made great work of it. And there's a slip from Branthwaite at the back. Thiago gets there. He finds Reece Nelson, who's into the penalty area. He's going to look across to face a goal. It's a poor dinked ball in. Shard is going to keep it alive in the end. He finds Coyote with a terrible pass. That is awful from Shada, and the throw-in goes to Everton. That is so poor.
It is. I mean, it just sums up how frustrating the afternoon has been for Brentford in attack. They've had enough possession, they've just not done anywhere near enough with it. Such a great header from Shada to start the move. Then the slip really opens it up for Brentford. But after that, it's a bit of a mess really as the ball goes down the left-hand side, and that cross from Nelson is to no one at all.
Yeah, Shada picked it up at the back post, and the tamest of passes to his teammate, giving him absolutely no chance in that challenge. As we now see Collins turns away from Beto, plays it towards Kelleher. It's going to go all the way out for Lewis Potter. Finds Watari, tries a clever flick. Once again, he's nowhere near pulling it off, and it falls towards McNeil. Plays it forwards in towards Beto. It's going to be cleared out for another throw-in. It's so stop-start is this game at the moment in terms of throw-ins and a few free kicks as well. We now see the ball with Yamolio, who's carrying it forwards. He's got a few options. Finds Collins all the way across towards Yarmoliuk again on the right hand side. Coyote, he finds his man Shada, bounces off him, finds Coyote again, looking to link up with the German, but now it's with Jensen. Once again, Everton just don't really seem keen to have the ball, do they, at any point?
No, Brentford aren't able to use possession. Everton aren't able to keep the possession when you think that they should be able to, but here's Otara now for Brentford.
Yeah, it's on the right hand side. It's Coyote on the attack. He finds Yarmoliuk again, just recycling possession. Passes between them, pretty simple. As we now see Vandenberg takes a few touches, plays it down the line. A great ball for Thiago as well. He's on the right hand side of the penalty. He finds Shada, who hangs it up towards the back post, looking for Lewis Potter, headed away by Idrissa Gana Gate. He's then knocked back down for Reece Nelson, who picks it up on his right, but he's going to hit it from distance. He puts it miles over the bar. Really poor effort from the substitute, and with that, 69 minutes on the clock, we've reached the halfway stage of this second half. It remains 1-1 between these two sides. It'll be Paul to take it through to full time.
Thank you very much, Kieran. Yeah, so with just over 20 minutes to go, are we going to see a winner in this game? Everton are preparing to make changes. Irega Bowden's going to be coming on, and Tiana Barry's going to be coming on as well. So they are trying to just help things on in defence. To see, actually saw a bit more activity on that bench as well, but I think it was Barry and Irega Bowden that will be coming on. Brentford now pushing down the left, but that pass is blocked. Is out for a throw to Everton on the right hand side. Still no change in the other game in the Premier League, where it's Burnley 0, Brighton 1. It finished Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 2 in the early game, and still to come in just under an hour's time now. It is Liverpool against Fulham. That is the 5:30 kickoff today in the Premier League. Plenty more action tomorrow from Scotland and from England, but here come Everton now at the edge of the area. Here is Dwight McNeil. He pulls the trigger, blocked here by Vandenberg. Loose ball deflects out towards the left-hand side, kept alive by Mikolenko. He goes back to Idrissa Gana Gate has sent, I'm not exaggerating, he sent that at least 10 yards over the bar. Really overhit effort there, and it's out for a goal kick.
Yeah, really overhit, and another real waste for Everton. In the rare chances they are going forward, do you think they could create something? They're preparing some changes. Irabunam and Tariq George ready to come on.
Wait to see who will be going off in the next few minutes to try and make way for the attacking options that David Moyes is readying. But for the time being, it is Brentford pushing down the left now with Keane Lewis Potter heading towards the edge of the area. He leaves it now for Kevin Shada. Shada at the edge of the area, back to Lewis Potter. Lewis Potter goes for goal. It's charged down by Dwight McNeil, and out for a throw to Brentford here on the left-hand side with Keane Lewis Potter taking the ball, but I don't suppose he'll be taking the throw himself. Brentford have got a specialist just for this. It's Coyote across from the right-hand side, and he's going to try and launch this ball as far as he can into the penalty area. Coyote trying to get as much of a run-up as he can, right up to the advertising boards. There's plenty to aim for inside that penalty area. Long throw now from Coyote towards the 6-yard box. It's headed away, hooked up in the air now by Jensen, back into the penalty area. Headed clear by Tarkowski. It's back into the box again. It just won't sit up for a Brentford player. Flicked clear this time by Garner, and it will be out for a throw to Brentford on the right-hand side this time. Coyote back to his more natural side. He'll be doing exactly the same, trying to launch this ball into the penalty area. Just wait to see whether or not he wants to try anything different. But it seems like he's ready to try and pick out a teammate here. Tarkowski just asking the question of Pickford in terms of positioning his defenders. It is Coyote. So many players inside that 6-yard box, more Everton players in fact, but the long throw from Coyote is headed clear towards the edge of the area by Beto, picked up now by Nelson, out towards Otara, left-hand edge of the penalty area. Otara's ball in the box. It's a really comfortable claim though from Pickford, and an important one as well.
Yeah, it is. It really is an important take from him in the end as he boots it long in behind.
And Jensen's miscontrolled that. Great chances for Everton. Oh, and Dewsbury Hall, he must score. His effort is straight at the goalkeeper. Second ball just blocked at the edge of the area by Coyote, but it will be kept alive by Iliman Ndiaye. Ndiaye not with no options there. He has to go back into midfield for the onrushing Mikalenko. Now it's played short towards Idrissa Gueye. Back towards the left-hand side here, half a chance for Ndiaye to try and get an early ball in, but he prefers just to take a touch. He gets it to McNeil. McNeil then goes for goal. His effort is charged down by Collins, and it's cleared for a throw, but Everton should be 2-1 up now. Yeah,
they should. What a chance. It felt quite similar to the moment where we saw Brentford win the penalty. It was just split through the middle. There was a miss of a header, and just like that, they were through. Potentially a handball from Jensen as well. He kind of just dropped onto his hand.
The trouble with that though is that Everton have got a goal scoring opportunity from it, and the referee didn't stop play. So I think if there was going to be a handball, then they probably would have had to have called that a little bit earlier. But yeah, Everton would have. I mean, I say Dewsbury Hall can certainly. He's no mug in front of goal to use a colloquial expression, but he really should have done a little bit better there, because as we see here as this ball comes down, I mean, it is a handball from Jensen, and it actually ended up being a really good through ball there to Dewsbury Hall, whose effort as he tried to turn, he fired it straight at the goal.
Exactly that. Just seeing it back once again. It's Dewsbury Hall just turned away. He just took a little bit too long. I think at that point where he decides to make the turn instead of shooting straight away, could have taken more touches to actually set himself a little bit better. Well, Beto has made way the Everton goal scorer for Tyreek George, and I believe maybe McNeil as well.
Yeah, so McNeil and Beto going off. Regabuna is on for Dwight McNeil. And we'll just confirm Tiena Barry's on as well. So it looks like this is a triple change then. It is, yeah. Barry, Irregabounam and George all on the field. And it's Idrissa Gueye, Dwight McNeil and Beto going off. So an attacking change there.
Yeah, attacking change in that sense. And Everton maybe just thinking, right, we can actually hurt these on the counter-attack and go for it in the latter stages, which I think myself and you, Paul, we probably agree with that as well.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think Brentford have potentially had their best moments in this second half already. They've been the dominant side in terms of possession, but struggling really to create anything meaningful in front of goal. So now, with these 3 attacking changes, that signals something to the other Everton players on the field, that their manager is expecting them to be more attack-minded. It's also a signal for Brentford that they need to be a lot more careful now, because there is a lot more pace in that Everton front line now. Tyreek George can be a handful, as indeed can Barry. So the ball now back in midfield. It is Brentford in possession. Just trying to find some space down the right-hand side. Here is Coyote towards Nelson. To Yarmoliuk. It's square. Everton are pressing in midfield, but Brentford still in possession. It's Jensen out towards the right-hand side. Just to get the ball into the penalty area. It's played short. Kept alive here momentarily by Nelson. He goes out towards Michael Coyote. No options to get across it. It's played back towards Vandenberg, who's joined this midfield possession for Brentford, albeit still a long way from goal. It's now with Nelson towards Yarmoliuk. We're now to Vandenberg, the right-hand side for Coyote. He does really well. Does Coyote, drops the shoulder, and he goes for goal himself. Oh, what an individual effort that is! I mean, I think there might have actually been a nick off Igor Thiago on the way, but what a run that was from Coyote, starting on the right-hand side, gets that ball into the box, and quite rightly, he's now joining the celebrations, but it looks like it's the big man at Brentford's number 9, who's now got 21 Premier League goals for the season.
Yeah, well, he's running off, celebrating as if it did touch him, isn't he, Igor Thiago? Big moment in this one. Like you said, Paul, what a run. What a moment from Coyote. He's laughing with his teammates, Thiago. We're going to have to see it back again to see if there was much contact from him. But yeah, we just see them recycle it to the right-hand side, just like what we've seen really all game from Brentford. Just that little slower approach, but Coyote cut inside. He was driving, caught onto his left foot, outside of the boot strike. Yeah, it's quite a clear touch off him.
It's a clear touch off him, but as I say, I mean, whether Igor Thiago meant it, whether it was intentional, as I say, only he will know. Nobody from a Brentford persuasion will care. The fact is that he's onside, and the fact is that that shot, all on its own, probably does get saved by Pickford. I mean, it's a great little jinking run from Coyote as well, just using the bounce of that ball. And actually, it might even be a double kiss. It might go off Branthwaite onto Thiago and then past the goalkeeper.
Yeah, well, they won't care, will they? Brentford, it just skims off the upper thigh, really. Thiago goes into the back of the net, and he celebrates once again. It's his 21st goal of the season. Now he's only one behind Erling Haaland.
Unbelievable, yes. And as I say, when you think that when Brentford signed him, he was being sort of brought in to replace Ivan Toney, who was likely to leave that season. And Igor Thiago played an hour of a pre-season friendly away to AFC Wimbledon, and the knee injury that he had when he arrived at Brentford recurred, and he missed most of his first season. He played something like half an hour off the bench in his first season, but things are very different now as he's become an absolute fixture. What a calamity this is for Brentford here. Oh, wow. Goodness me, that is comedy defending. I mean, it is unbelievable. A ball was played in from the left-hand side. Brentford were dealing with it, so I allowed myself a little tangent about Igor Thiago. And then in the meantime, a combination of Kelleher and his defenders doing their absolute best to get Everton back into this game.
Yeah, exactly that. And what on earth happened at the back? I mean, Lewis Potter, Collins and Kelleher, I mean, I don't know what all three of them are doing. That would have been probably one of the worst moments you see. They just leave it for each other. They get away with it in the end because the Everton players aren't alert. Yeah, but it's not all over yet because it's a throw from that resulting clearance. The throw from O'Brien is cleared. It goes straight back to Jake O'Brien. The cross gets a deflection, which means it arrives slightly lower inside the penalty area. Then it's a slightly miscued clearance from Molik. But in fairness, he gets a fair amount of distance on it. It's out for a throw. And Everton have taken it quickly. So, David Moyes made the 3 attacking changes for his side to try and win the game. Now those 3 attacking changes have got to try and get Everton level again. Yeah, exactly that. As we see, Tyreek George turns away from it. Man, lovely play from him, plays it down the line, and Everton on the attack now. They're pushing for it. I think Coyote's really hurt himself. He almost did the splits. Coyote's down in a lot of pain, but the referee's not going to stop play until Brentford have possession. Thankfully, Coyote has picked himself up. Everton still have the ball at the edge of the area now with Dewsbury Hall. And then, Dewsbury Hall was waiting for a pass from Tyreek George, but George played that a little bit too quickly down that left channel, and no chance for his midfield teammate. Coyote got up and then has sat back down again. As I say, there aren't too many options on the bench from players you would have heard of, but actually in the right back role there is a straight swap for Christopher Ayer, who is pretty much the first player to come on for Coyote in that position. Yeah, exactly that. And Coyote, that'll be a big worry. Such a big part of this setup, not just in play but out of play as well when it comes to the set pieces. As we see Coyote now, he's just jogging it off. It seems like he'll be okay. Yeah, it's good news for Michael Coyote, good news for Brentford, and we see this run from Coyote again. I mean, as good a run as it was, Everton are a bit lightweight in trying to stop him. Yeah, they were. It's pretty poor from Everton, which isn't really like them. Usually so defensively solid, but they're in behind. They are in behind. The ball, the touch actually comes off a Brentford man, but this has been used by Barry. He then tees it up for Joel. That's a thundering effort, but in the end, it goes wide from Tyreek George. The invitation to go for goal from outside the box was certainly there for George, but just gets underneath this one a little bit, takes a touch, and as he takes that touch, he actually draws Brentford players towards him, so he rushed his shot in the end. Yeah, completely slices through it in the end. As we see David Moyes a little bit bemused. He'll be really frustrated with his second half. like we kept saying, we thought they were there for the taking, didn't we? Brentford, but Everton just didn't capitalise on that at all.
No, they didn't, and it may well be that David Moyes will look back on this game and say that there was a spell at the start of this second half where Everton could have really pushed at Brentford a little bit more. I mean, because we saw there just a few minutes ago, I mean, literally just after Brentford had retaken the lead, there was a calamity of a defensive error between the goalkeeper and two of his defenders, and Everton very nearly gifted an equaliser. So if Everton had just pressed a little bit harder at the start of the second half, they would have had a chance to potentially do that, as now there might be a chance here for Thierno Barry to break towards goal. But as that ball was going into the penalty area, the referee has called him for a foul on Republic of Ireland international Nathan Collins. Skipper picking himself up, just a quick glance across at Turf Moor. It is still 1-0 to Brighton. Looking at the Championship very quickly, Charlton 1, Preston 2, Leicester 0, Swansea 1. Leicester are heading down as it stands. It's goalless between Middlesbrough and Portsmouth. That's 4 points dropped for Borough. Another step towards Coventry being promoted into the Premier League. Oxford is still 1-0 up against Watford. That's a big result for them as they look to try and avoid relegation. Sheffield United have just equalised against Hull City, who've been very hot and cold this season in terms of their playoff hopes. Southampton lead 2-1 against Derby, and it's 1-1 between Stoke and Blackburn. In the earlier games they finished Coventry 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, it's Norwich 0, Ipswich 2, goalless between QPR and Bristol City. We have around 7.5 minutes of this game before we hit injury time. Do you still see Everton getting back into it potentially? You can never rule it out, can you?
No, you can't. They are starting to attack them, starting to show a little bit more. The substitutes have added a little bit of energy, but yeah, it has to improve. I think Brentford, yes, they look like they've got a mistake in them, but they seem well equipped to see this one out. We'll see over the coming minutes.
Yeah, ball over the top. Is that going to be kept in play, or it's just about cleared? And it will be up for a throw to Everton on the right-hand side. Keane Lewis-Potter, certainly, although he's a winger stroke defender, he's going to have to be more in defensive mode now until the end of the game, you would imagine, because Everton are naturally going to start to push at Brentford, and Brentford are going to sit back. And that is where Everton may get some joy, because traditionally, whether it's under Keith Andrews or under Thomas Frank, Brentford are not a good side at sitting back. They've traditionally lost a heap of points from winning positions over the last 3 or 4 seasons. So that's certainly some incentive for Everton there, as the ball is cleared towards the halfway line. Branthwaite doing his best just to get in the way of Igor Thiago, and it works as Thiago gets the final touch. Throw on to Everton, taken quickly all the way back towards Jordan Pickford. He now leaves it for Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, who's now playing in that much deeper role. After Idrissa Gueye went off, it just means that Riga Bonham can now push down on the right-hand side. George can play through the middle, Barry can play as the number 9. So with Tarkowski now, back towards James Garner. Tarkowski again, about the long ball. He does try a diagonal ball out towards the left-hand side, but that's well marshalled by Michael Coyote. Nods it out for a throw to Everton on the left-hand side, taken quickly by Mikolenko. Back into Branthwaite. Tarkowski to O'Brien. So everyone in the back line has had a touch of the ball, but it's players further up the field for Everton that need to start seeing a little bit more of the ball now. We've got just over 5 minutes to play here at the G-Tech. And here is Branthwaite again, but that's a much better ball down the left-hand side. He gets it in towards George. He gets into the penalty area, crosses, aimed at Barry, is cleared, and then a crucial header there from Yarmoliuk, because Barry was lurking there for the second ball. Now it's Coyote trying to get Brentford on the counter. Gets the ball over towards Otara, but he had too many Everton players around him. I think Otara might have run his race. I think Brentford potentially needs to make a couple more changes here, but as Kieran's already made the point, they don't have too many players to choose from with quite a threadbare bench. But here come Everton now. It's George's ball into the box. Looping header across the 6-yard box from Ilman Ndiaye. It's nodded out by Vandenberg. I do wonder why Ndiaye's not trying to head the ball and not trying to head for goal himself.
Yeah, exactly that. And at this stage, you've just got to get shots off, don't you? You've got to create chances. You've got to push. A point that'd be pretty massive for Everton, given the circumstance of what's actually going to be happening in terms of them losing Brentford, getting that gap. Brentford currently 6th, Chelsea with a chance, even Brighton, of going above Everton as it stands with their win against Burnley. So Everton dropping all the way down to 9th.
It just shows how tight the upper mid-table of the Premier League is this season. As I say, Brentford could drop points in their next games. They could still drop points today, of course, and everything could change in that top 7, top 8. going right down to 10th, 11th place as Dewsbury Hall now puts a long ball into the penalty area. It's headed clear. Nelson now for Brentford turns really well and then finds Coyote. Oh, and Coyote didn't fancy that run at all. I wonder if he's just feeling the pain a little bit. Sheffield United are now 2-1 up against Hull City. That game has completely turned around there at back Bramall Lane. Now sent towards the Brentford penalty area, but Kelleher is out. He makes the save. Rolls this out towards Nathan Collins. It's in towards Nelson down the left-hand side. Nelson just trying to get away from Iregobun. I think he was fouled by him, but the referee allows an advantage because now here is Lewis Potter. He gets away from O'Brien. O'Brien then comes back across, challenges Lewis Potter. Lewis Potter then gets his body in the way, but O'Brien's always one or two weight divisions, if not more, bigger than Lewis Potter. He's always going to struggle there, and eventually it's out for a throw to Everton. Yeah,
it is out for a throw. In the end, a pretty simple one that O'Brien wins as he's ready to take this throw-in, but needs to really get on with it. 87 minutes on the clock now. Everton have to crack on. They've got to start creating.
They do. I think that Everton are starting to are seeing more of the ball, and they're getting the ball into the Brentford penalty area, but they're still not quite getting it directly to Tieno Barry. Tyreek George, playing in that slightly deeper role, has seen more of the attacking play so far, and Iregobun on the right-hand side perhaps hasn't really got into the game as much as David Moyes would have liked. But Brentford nervous in midfield as they give it away, and now the aforementioned Iregobun plays a quick pass out towards Dewsbury Hall, and he finds George on the left-hand side, who breaks into the penalty area, cuts back onto his right, goes for goal, and he forces a save from Kelleher, who pushes it out for a corner.
He's been really good actually, as Tyreek George driving forwards. He's going at his man every time, isn't he? Really good performance.
He's been the best of the three subs easily.
Yeah, by an absolute man. I'd say probably better than Dwight McNeil overall already.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's been
gone at his man.
Yeah, he certainly has. He actually asked questions of Brentford and forced players into challenges as Brighton double their lead at Turf Moor. That's another nail in the coffin for Burnley, you feel, but the cross comes in. It's punched clear by Kelleher just to the edge of the area, and Nelson now holds it up for Brentford. Does really well to get that ball away from his penalty area, then tries to play a long ball over the top here for Igor Thiago. Mikalenko is the last man back for Everton. He does really well to stop that because there were four Brentford players pushing on, but now it's been one back in midfield here, and now it's Sharda's ball out towards Otara. Ball cleared, but Brentford have it back here in midfield with Matthias Jensen. Back towards Nathan Collins just to confirm that second goal for Brighton. It's a brace for Max Vafer, so he scored just before the end of the first half, and he's scored just before the end of the second half. It's a game he'll remember because it doesn't get too many goals for the Seagulls. But Vafer delighted, those travelling Brighton fans delighted, just like the Burnley home fans are devastated because they had, they've had offsides today. I'm not exaggerating, the offside against Burnley in the second half is half a kneecap. That's all that could stop Burnley from being level. And they've been very unlucky with offsides this season, mainly against, amongst others, against Brentford, of course, in that crazy game at Turf Moor.
Yeah, exactly that. Just seeing the goal from Max Vafer, it's a lovely finish from him, but yeah, they had a decent start to the season, did Burnley, where you thought, can they be competitive for once, but no, really tailed off. The rain has just started to hammer it down.
Yeah, it's really teaming it down at the G-Tech now as we're into the last 30 seconds of the regulation 19. It's going to be a long throw from Michael Coyote, which is almost like a regulation throw for Brentford these days, and on this occasion it's actually too short. The ball doesn't clear the first man at the edge of the area. It's cleared up towards the halfway line, and Kelleher now has the ball for Brentford. He can't take too long. He's being closed down by Everton players. It's out towards the right-hand side now. Coyote with a pointless dummy there. He just leaves the ball for Mikalenko. Now it's deflected into the path of Tim Iregobun, and he's a good run here from him. Gets to the edge of the area. His run is stopped, but the loose ball deflects back in towards Mikalenko. Played back to, we're into 3 minutes of added time, so potentially half the time we had in the first, because we had 5 in the first and we had an extra minute on top of that, so not much time for Everton here as the cross comes in. Oh, it eludes everyone on the far post, but it's been teed up here. The shot comes in from O'Brien, rebound surely, and Everton are level. It's slammed into the back of the net, and it's the man that missed the glorious chance earlier in the game, and Kieran Dewsbury Hall makes it 2-2.
Yeah, it's a great finish from him, and Brentford just can't hold on. It's so poor from them at the back, just no one marking him at the back post. The Everton fans go mental because it's a really, really big goal for their season, and he doesn't want to celebrate it. They want to go and win this game because they know they can. Credit to Tyreek George again. He picks it up, darts at his man, and that's exactly what he does. The ball then gets whipped in. It evades everyone. That's so poor from Nathan Collins. It's absolutely awful from him. And then Coyote gets the block in. Kelleher, a lot of questions to be asked of him. He comes through bodies. It's difficult, but he's so easily beaten.
He's not good at his near post there, Kelleher. I mean, there is sun in his eyes for the first effort, but that's not an excuse for the second effort. As Dewsbury Hall gets there, I mean, it's awful from that point of view. There's a goalkeeper and a defender diving across at the near post, and between them, nobody can get the block on and actually stop Dewsbury Hall from scoring. We're back at it now with the 90 seconds still to play here at the G-Tech. You can see how frustrated David Moyes is about something there, because Everton know that whilst avoiding defeat in this game obviously is something in terms of their ambitions of top 7, top 8, a draw's not really enough. Brentford now pushing forward here with Dango Atara at the edge of the area. Goes back to Coyote. He then shanks a high ball into the penalty area. It's going to be a free kick there. It must be surely for the foul on Tarkowski. Referee doesn't give it, but Everton clear their lines anyway. It's up to the halfway line where Collins is back there for Brentford. He plays it back towards Kelleher. Back to Collins now on the left-hand side into Jensen. Everton still pressing here in these last 45 seconds. It's back with Kelleher again. He lifts it towards the halfway line. Nodded forward here by O'Brien. Fight for it in midfield. It's Brentford that have it. Referee has actually blown for a free kick this time rather than just giving an advantage. Early ball now down the left-hand side. It does get through towards Keane Lewis Potter. He does really well. Holds the ball up. Now he's got 3 players in the box. He can pick out a cross. The cross. Oh, it's too high for It's too high for Igor Thiago. It's missed by Kevin Schade. Dango Otara is not expecting it, so the ball just deflects off his body and it's out for a goal kick.
Out for a goal kick in the end. It's just so poor, but a good opportunity to find a winner right before full time. It's better from Lewis Potter. He gets the better of his man not once but twice. Hangs it to the far post. It's the head off Schade that just takes it away from his man. What a waste of a great opportunity to find a winner.
That's probably going to be the last chance of the game, you would imagine, because we've had the full 3 minutes now. Just a question of whether Mr. Halam wants to play any more time in addition to that. Now pumped high up in the air with Jensen out towards the left-hand side. The ball over the top is to no one in particular, and that's probably going to be it as far as this game is concerned. The referee may have been playing a few extra seconds of added time because of the goal being scored in added time, but that is it. It's all over at the G-Tech. It's a draw that helps neither side, but frustration for Brentford, who on 2 occasions have had their lead pegged back by a decent Everton side who were always trying to find that goal. It's finished here. Brentford 2, Everton 2. Thank you very much for joining us.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also